2025 is going to be a huge year for Marvel, not just because we have the release of the next Captain America movie, literally in February. Then we have the Thunderbolts. Then we finally have the Fantastic Four movie. Feige, do not fumble the Fantastic Four movie again. Not only that, we have the Superman movie, but not only that, we have some huge Marvel movies shooting. Avengers Doomsday will be shooting, Spider-Man 4, also Supergirl. It's just going to be a great year for Marvel and DC, hopefully. So there's some huge information that's come out recently from a very reliable source, Production Weekly. If it's true, damn, this reveals exactly who's going to be in Avengers Doomsday. Not only that, we have some pretty interesting details about potentially what is happening in Avengers Doomsday and so much more. So if you are new around here, what are you doing? We've been covering this kind of content for like 5 years. Where have you been? You're probably a returning person to this channel, let's be honest. Also, if you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the voice. And check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Right, let's get into this. So, there is a report apparently coming from Production Weekly that says Marvel Studios for All Time Production UK Limited is shooting a feature film called Avengers Doomsday. Now, what is interesting is this has two different addresses on it. One is Burbank in America, and one is Hammersmith, London. And if you look it up, it's basically a Walt Disney registered company that works out of Hammersmith. So there's no real reason to dispute the information on this, except for a lot of people are going to moan that there's not more characters. But realistically, if this is true, they're not going to list every single person in said movie. So status is late March 2025, meaning when it's going to shoot. Location, London, UK. Now, why would they be filming this in England? Well, because England's better than every other country. Oh my God, you guys are going to be triggered. No, is if you film a movie in the UK, the taxpayers will literally pay you 30% of the movie budget back. So realistically, you get free money for shooting in the UK. And also, England has some of the best production sets, best places to film. And Marvel has shot a lot of movies here. So there's no point disputing that. Producer Kevin Feige. And then also it says writer Lewis, blah, blah, blah. And then it says writer Stephen McFeely. Now, this is where it starts to get interesting. Director Joe Russo and Anthony Russo. Now, it lists the cast, which I find fascinating. So cast Robert Downey Jr., Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Urban Moss. Okay, we know the Fantastic Four is going to be in this movie. Tom Holland, Elizabeth freaking Olsen, the Scarlet Witch is returning. Okay, this has been rumored for the longest time ever. Sebastian Stan. Obviously, he's in literally every Marvel property. Now, what is interesting is he was at an expo recently. I'm not going to make a video about it, but he basically hinted that he's going to become Captain America at some point. As we know, he's got the replacement arm at the moment. He's a fugitive. Maybe he does something in Avengers 5 and 6, aka Secret Wars and Doomsday. But potentially, he could become Captain America. It would make a lot more sense. Oh my God, Warstu, you hate Sam Wilson. You hate Anthony. No, I don't. I just don't think he's Captain America at the moment. So it is interesting. Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell, David Harper, Hannah John, Chris Evans, Anthony Mackie, Benedict Cumberbatch, Haley Atwood, CD Seraphin, and then it goes on to list a LA address, and then it goes on to list Walt Disney Motion Pictures, building Burbank, blah, 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 blah. And then it says March 2025 to August 2025, release date May. I mean, it looks legit. I've not spoken to anyone to see if it is legit, but the Geeky Cast posted it, and to be fair, he says, y'all coming at me. But apparently it came from Production Weekly, been sent it multiple times. It's out there. You know, on this channel, we cover rumors, leaks, everything. Now, we know it is actually shooting in the UK. It's got to shoot in 2025 to come out in 2026. That just makes sense. Now, there's no realistic names on here that's red herrings or red flags at all, to be honest. We expect the Fantastic Four to be in this movie. Literally, there's no names on this. We know Chris Evans. Apparently, Scarlett Johansson's going into the movie. Apparently, Warstu is getting ready for a role in this movie. Looking pretty jacked on his Instagram stories, but I can't confirm or deny. But also, one name on here, which I didn't list, is actually interesting. Is Anne Damas, who is very popular with the lads. The role, it says, mentioned for a role. Now, what is interesting, and this is kind of a little bit of a red flag, is we know there's going to be a lot more characters in this movie than this, but no one else is listed on this. Like, I was expecting Scarlett Johansson, Warstu, and a few others, but no one else is realistically listed on this. So why is she listed? We don't know. So as we know, this movie is essentially going to be called Avengers Doomsday. It's going to be introducing evil Avengers made up of variants of Earth 616 MCU Avengers, like Captain America, like Hulk. They serve as Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom as he tries to rule the freaking multiverse. So this movie is pretty much realistically everything that you wanted Deadpool to be. Basically, the evil variants coming face to face with their 616 counterparts is going to be freaking insane if it's true. Well-known characters such as Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson returning for this movie. Evil Hulk, which is Maestro, isn't really Hulk. We know Hydra, Captain America, could potentially be in this movie. We know Chris Evans is allegedly going to be playing two different roles. One Hydra Captain America, and one is the actual Captain America that went back in time to put back the Infinity Stones, but he didn't actually do it. So we might get a similar scene that we've seen before when Captain America fights Captain America, although this time it will be Hydra Captain fighting the Captain America that went back in time to deliver the stones back. I mean, obviously, we don't know if this is true, but if that is true, that's absolutely insane. Obviously, the Hydra Captain America variant would be aligned with Doom, and we know one key character that was listed on the alleged cast list is Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen. We know she's not dead, she's just dissipated. We expect she got teased quite a lot in Agatha all along. Obviously, her son's looking for her, and he's looking for the other. He's looking for his brother. But we know Elizabeth Olsen is allegedly supposed to have a huge role, and she's going to be side by side with Doom, but she's wanting to make up for the mistakes that she made in that movie, obviously being Doctor Strange 2, under the influence of the Dark Hold. We don't know if this is true, so the movie apparently is going to give Doctor Doom the Thanos treatment, where it's going to be a much darker, more complex kind of role. He's trying to save the universe from multiple incursions. Doom's plan is to unite essentially all the universes under one reality, being Battle World, that he can control. It's the only way to ensure the survival of everything and all the universes. But it's from the standpoint that the evil variants will be fighting the good versions of the characters. It does sound pretty interesting, and it does sound like in the way that it's going to introduce and have a bunch of different characters playing the same character but a different variant of it. It does somewhat seem like the storyline that we've been over multiple times recently on the channel for Kang's Dynasty, and I do think it's interesting. But how this plays and slides into the DMs for Avengers 6, because as we know, Secret Wars, as we know, whatever happens in Doomsday is literally going to be setting up Spider-Man 4. I do believe this could be somewhat true, as there has been a lot of reports about the evil Avengers taking on the good Avengers, but a different kind of role for each counterpart, playing dual roles. And that's why Robert Downey Jr. has been announced as Doctor Doom, because he's really going to be playing a version of Iron Man as well, if reports are true. But I find it more interesting not knowing if stuff's true. When they start shooting this movie next year, that's when we're going to actually know if stuff's true, because although they try to film stuff on sound stages and close off sets, just like Deadpool and Wolverine, they filmed in the open. They have to film certain stuff in the open. They can't do it all on a sound stage or on closed sets, because it just looks fake when they do it like that. We all know how the ending of Ant-Man 3 happened and the ending of Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness, and we don't want that. So this is an update, and that's the most recent information about Doomsday. Obviously, there's more information going around about other Marvel stuff, but this video is just really about Doomsday and the insane plot reveal. If this is true, it's not really new, but I haven't really gone over it in this kind of variation before, and I wanted to put another Avengers Doomsday video out, as I somewhat think this could be from Production Weekly. But as we've said before, Production Weekly doesn't seem as reliable and as viable as it used to be in terms of credibility and validity. But like I say, guys, we go over all information in regards to where it comes from. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see a bit of on the voice. Check us out on Twitter, Warstu G. And I will catch you guys very soon. Catch you later.